Hey kids, you are about to listen to a comedy podcast. This means that none of this is medical advice. If you need medical advice or medical care, please contact your doctor.
Welcome to the Jock podcast featuring Dr. London Smith. He's the Thomas Edison of modern medicine. Now introducing your host, Dr. London Smith.
Hello, and welcome to the Jock podcast, where we discuss fitness and health and how to incorporate our modern understanding of science and medicine into our daily lives, but without it being so boring. I'm your host, drlondonsmith.com. I would like to begin by apologizing to our listeners. We've received some complaints about the abundance of technical medical terms I've been using, such as heterozygote and leaves changing. So I will try to keep things on the level as we go along. Here to help with that is our producer, Cameron.
Oh, hey, Dr. London. Hey, Mr. London, sir, Dr. London.
Hey, Cameron. Cameron is like a leaf on a tree in the fall, twitching every which way as the wind blows by. And each breeze is like a trend that directs him towards what people want to hear, so that he can convey that knowledge to inform the podcast into further relatability. With that in mind, don't be surprised if he gives a little prod here and there to keep us on track. Also with this is Digital in the House. Later, Cameron has informed me that we have a guest on the way, so look forward to that.
Yeah, that's right, Mr. London, Dr. London, sir.
Cameron, you sound a little bit different today.
Yeah, Dr. London, Mr. London, Dr. London, sir.
Yes.
I went through a machine, like a science fiction-y type of machine, and it made me younger, Dr. London.
You describing it as a science fiction-y machine, meaning it's fictional?
No.
Or you think it's just from the future?
Yeah, probably just like some sort of future technology, Dr. London, Mr. London, sir.
Right.
I went through a machine that it turns you into what other people think of you. And since you always treat me like a kid, that's what spit me out on the other side, because you're such a condescending jerk ass and you treat people like they're nothing. So it turned me into a little kid.
Aww. Well, it sounds more like it turned you into what you think that I perceive you as. You look normal to me. I don't think, it sounds like you're just kind of doing a voice here.
No, you treat me like a kid, and you treat everyone like a kid, and you say, oh, I hate these civilians, they're all like children. And I think even the fact that you call normal people civilians is probably problematic. But I'm just a little kid, Dr. London.
Okay. Well, I don't know how that... Well, maybe you'll help us to relate to a younger audience, maybe.
Maybe.
This, I guess.
We'll just have to see.
I guess we will. Well, before we move on, I would like to address a bit of listener feedback. Quote, well, we had it tough. We used to have to get up out of the shoebox at 12 o'clock at night and lick the road clean with our tongues. We had half a handful of freezing cold gravel, worked 24 hours a day at the mill for 4 pence every 6 years, and when we got home, our dad would slice us in two with a bread knife. End quote. First of all, thank you so much for reaching out to the Jock podcast. We always appreciate hearing back from our listeners here. To answer your question, it sounds as if you really did have a tough time growing up. But if you were able to write into the Jock podcast, that tells me that you are staying strong through it all.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like you're Like the person writing in is like an ant or something. Some sort of bug.
Oh, because they are licking the road clean with their tongues.
Yeah.
And
Living in a shoebox or something.
Okay.
Can be cut in half with a butter knife.
I didn't realize that our listeners were insects so much. That's a surprise to me. But
Well, I'm just a little kid, so I've been, introducing all the little bugs and stuff I find around the house to our podcast.
like, do you give them headphones or something? How does that work?
Like I found like a little lizard the other day, which I know lizard isn't like a bug, Dr. London, sir, but I know, it's kind of in that same category as a small critter that, you can find in your house sometimes.
Okay.
And so I put it in a cup. You know how you can, you slide a piece of paper, you get them on a piece of paper and then put a cup over it, and then you can like move them. And so I did that, and then I just put them in my subwoofer, and then I just turned up the podcast really, really loud. Now it's not moving.
Okay. Yeah. Well, how long ago did you do this?
It's been running for 72 hours.
Okay. Well, a number of things there. So, insects, a lot of them have short lives, like naturally. So that could be something. But also...
But a lizard's not an insect. We
I'm sorry.
Clarified that a second
lizard.
ago.
Okay, and they do tend to have longer lives. Did you... Well, is this annoying the neighbors or anything, having a subwoofer at max volume?
I don't have any neighbors. All my neighbors left.
Oh, because of this type of behavior?
Yeah, because I kept playing the podcast too loud.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's great advertisement for us.
Sorry for trying to introduce the show to new listeners, Dr. London, sir. Maybe the people across the street would be interested in your genius medical advice and the way you treat people with respect and you don't treat them like little children.
It, once again, sounds like you're really trying to make a dig at me here.
Oh, no, it's a machine. It's just a real machine that I went through.
And
Dr. London, sir.
How did you come across this machine?
I built it.
Okay, so you're blaming it on the machine. What did you build it out of? I know you said science fiction.
Yeah, science fiction-y type of future stuff. So there's like an Alexa in there, like an Amazon Echo.
Okay.
Basically all I did was I took an Amazon Echo and then I plugged it into like a Google Assistant or a Google Home thingy. And then I plugged both of those into like a Roku. And then it turned me into a kid. Just a little kid. So, I'm just 9 years old or maybe like 13. I don't know.
Okay. I'm not sure. I'm not really seeing how that process would turn you into a different age.
Have you done
it?
But
no, I have not.
The invention doesn't turn people into a different age. It turns people into what Dr. London sees them as. And you just happen to see me and treat me like I'm a little child who can't do anything right. Dr. London.
Okay, well, we can move on from there for now. We can come back to this if we need to, but...
Dr. London.
Now for a tale from the neurology clinic. We had a patient present with symptoms of difficulty with speech and writing, along with episodes of sporadic generalized pain. The onset of these symptoms were reportedly after the patient had a glass bottle fall on her head several years ago. Since then, she has visited many neurologists over this matter. Objective data, such as CTs and MRIs, confirm that such a minor injury did not cause any visible lesions, visible meaning on imaging, and at clinic, she displayed an essentially normal evaluation. However, when told that a review of her extensive records indicated a likely psychiatric origin to her somatic symptoms, she was offended at such a prospect. It is important to consider with such patients that just because a given presentation has psychiatric origins does not negate how difficult it is for them to live with this condition. The reason why we want to diagnose it properly as a psychiatric illness is because if we try to treat a psychologic illness with neurologic methods, it may be unsuccessful, whereas a psychiatric approach could, in fact, treat or even cure the patient of their neurologic complaints.
Dr. London, it sounds like you're not willing to treat your patients in the way that they want to be treated.
Well, that's true because sometimes, normally we try to sort of bridge that gap and come to at least a compromise with the patient.
Yeah.
Meet on the same sort of terms, but in other cases, once we rule out an entire sort of specialty, the whole neurology side of it, once we rule that out, then psychological could be the approach. And it's
right. So you talk to the patients and they tell you how they're feeling and you try to make a compromise and meet them where they're at, but ultimately your decision is the most important and the most authoritative. What would that remind you of? Maybe like a person of a certain age talking to a person of another certain age?
Okay, and you're referring to like an adult talking to a child?
Maybe. I'm just a little kid. I don't know.
Okay. Well, and once again, this is respect for the patient. The patient still has autonomy, so they get to choose in the end what they do, which is not the case for a child. But whenever you're talking to a patient, the thing about being a doctor
as a civilian,
is that,
you call them.
well, I don't think that that's more of a military term, and I try to, I usually just call them
Civilians.
patients.
Because you see them as others. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Well, now for our medical topic, constrictive pericarditis. Constrictive pericarditis results from a fibrous scarring of the pericardium, which is the area surrounding the heart. So this fibrous scarring around the heart makes the heart stay constricted, unable to expand properly. It's kind of like a balloon in a box. The walls around the heart become so stiff that it cannot properly fill with blood, and consequently, it cannot pump that blood throughout the body. Most of the time, we actually do not find the cause of constrictive pericarditis. Clinically, those patients will present with looking very ill and having jugular venous distension.
Well, Dr. Lennon, you're probably used to not finding out the cause of things, right? That's kind of normal.
No, it just depends on the illness. Like for a lot of viral illnesses, you may not necessarily narrow down the specific exact cause.
Yeah.
Because that's not, the general approach. Because viruses often you just have to let them run their course. That kind of thing, if that's what you mean.
Yeah. Like, I don't think anyone should ever expect you to be able to figure out what's wrong with them. You just want to push pills and then push them out the door.
Well, no, we do try to
push pills,
figure out. Well, and so
push
in
them
this
out the door.
So with what we're talking about here, one of the things we look for in order to find that right diagnosis, so patients will look very ill and they'll have jugular venous distension, which is when the blood in the right side of the heart backs up so much that the jugular vein becomes enlarged. And then if you're going to differentiate that from restrictive cardiomyopathy, remember we're talking about constrictive cardiomyopathy, it may be necessary to do an echocardiogram, which is like an ultrasound of the heart. Or you might also do cardiac catheterization, which is when they put an instrument for measuring pressure through your blood vessels.
Up your thingy?
No, okay, and so that is a common catheter. But so this is a specific cardiac catheter as opposed to for urination.
Not up your silly willy?
No,
that's what I call it because I'm just a little kid.
Not up your silly willy. Like it might be in the, I guess depending on the side of the heart and everything, femoral vein or something like that.
I had heard that
femoral blood vessel.
As a doctor, that I had read online that your mortality rate is only 0%, like you've never had a mortality, but then your mortality rate with people who leave the hospital the next day is like 80% because you give them no hope because you can't figure out what's wrong with them, so they just give up.
Okay,
is that true?
No, I don't think so. I try to speak hopefully to my patients.
It was on the Glassdoor profile for your practice.
Okay. Well, I think that most people who write reviews on there and on Yelp, a lot of times it's people who are angry, and so you get a biased view. It's sort of the
Yeah.
worst.
Even though
Opinions
Glassdoor is for
possible.
employees, not for customers. So it's people who have worked closely with you for decades. And they're saying that every person that comes through, or 80% of the people who come through, end up just kind of going home and either succumbing to their illness, which is often consumption, and you can't even figure that out. Is that true, Dr. London, sir? Mr. Dr. London, sir? Dr. London?
Yes. Were you?
Yeah, I was just wondering why so many of your patients have consumption.
That's a fun question. So this podcast is more about just educating, and we kind of leave my personal my work life out of it.
Yeah, that's why it's not like you tell a story every week about a patient you've interacted with.
Yeah, so I'll bring up some example, but specifically to illustrate a particular point about medicine in general.
Yeah, cherry picking cases so you can avoid talking about how many people go home and are like, well, I guess if Dr. London can't figure out, what's the point of living?
Again, that's so that's one view, one opinion, and it's great to hear the feedback, which is why we also have the feedback section of the show. So anyway, we can go ahead and move on from there, though. Cameron, do we have any sponsors today?
Unfortunately, we do not, Dr. London.
No.
But I thought we could maybe use this time to kind of do something fun, a fun activity. We don't really do a lot of games, a lot of fun stuff on this show, unfortunately.
Okay, well, that's
Because you're a little stuffy.
I was going to say, because we try to keep it focused on sort of science and medicine and fitness and health, that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. Whoever heard of combining fitness with fun? That's impossible.
Okay, so like some exercise game? Is that what you're thinking of?
Well, I was more thinking, sports are back. Sports are very in right now.
Oh, okay.
Basketball started again. Hockey started again. Obviously, football's been going on for a couple months.
So you mean when you say it's back, it's not like it's a trend. You mean the season for
It is way more trendy right now than it was even just a few months ago. No one was talking about basketball a few months ago, and now it's on TV. I mean,
Okay. Well, yeah, that happens every year at a certain time of year.
yeah.
Okay. So you said some game
Well,
involving sports?
something that a lot of people really like to do is fantasy drafts.
Okay, yeah.
And so I thought, how could we do our own fantasy draft?
Yeah, okay, so like this is for like fantasy football. People pick their whatever players,
Yeah.
make their own whatever team.
So we're going to be building our own medical team by drafting body parts.
So what do you mean? Like your favorite body part to make a medical
Well, you don't
practitioner?
necessarily choose your favorite. You choose the one that you think is going to do the best for your team.
Okay, so one thing about the body is that sort of each part serves its purpose. And so to have any one part to be drafted for your team, it wouldn't necessarily, unless you had all the parts, it wouldn't make that much sense. Like, aside from maybe losing a limb or two,
Yeah.
then you really kind of need
You're
all
saying
of them.
if any person is missing anything, they might as well be dead. Is that what you're saying?
No. Okay, so to clarify.
So anyone who might not be a perfect 10 and might have any kind of flaw and maybe had some sort of injury or maybe was born with any kind of defect or anything like that, they are lesser than. That's very interesting. But that's not what we're talking about today.
Okay, good. And that's not the opinion that I'm trying to put forth. I'm more saying
Right.
that
It's not an opinion. It's a fact to you. I understand. I get what you're saying. I don't agree with it, but I see what the agenda you're pushing.
Okay. Okay. For one thing, I didn't mean it that way. But go ahead and explain. What do you actually mean? How does this
Okay.
look?
I'm gonna draft for my pick.
Okay.
I'm gonna draft the head. Now it's your turn.
So I can't have the head?
No, I just drafted it.
Okay, I guess I draft the neck.
It's a terrible decision. All right, let me write that down. The neck. It's gonna do so bad on Sunday. All right.
Oh, wait.
Huh?
I'm sorry. On Sunday?
Yeah, on game day. Your team's going to do awful if you just got a neck.
What is the game?
Well, it's just how many points you can score with your team.
So
That's usually how it goes. You draft the team, and then different things are weighted and pointed out.
what game?
We're drafting body parts for
So,
Sunday. That's game day.
So the reason I chose the neck was sorry to reveal my strategy
Yeah.
here, but is that if you don't have a neck, then the head can't connect to the rest of the body, rendering it useless because then it's just a beheaded person. But you also, since you chose the head, anything I choose is irrelevant because the body needs the brain, the central nervous system, in order to function.
Right.
So do you see how the game is kind of done already?
No, I mean, I think point-wise, you're not down and out. You're from the beginning scoring less points than my team.
Okay, maybe I don't understand the game very well. Okay, go on.
Okay, so I'm going to draft the neck. Oh, you did that. Okay. This kind of ruins my strategy a little bit. All right. I am going to draft the elbow cap.
Okay, so that, to my knowledge, there is no elbow cap. There's a knee cap, but not an elbow cap.
Okay, what are the elbows are the knees of the arm.
One could say
100%.
that.
100%. Everyone would say that.
Okay.
If you asked any person alive, what is the knee of the arm? What are they going to say?
They would probably say the elbow, yeah.
Okay, and so does my elbow not have a hard kind of roundy area where the two bones meet that joint?
So what you're describing is a bone, though. So the patella, which is that bone.
300 points for elbow caps.
Okay, wow, you really have a full chart in there.
Oh, yeah.
And this is
You really should have studied before we started drafting.
this is the first time you've mentioned this.
Because the neck is only worth 3 points.
Okay. Well, okay, now that you put it on the projector, I see this is a lot of detail
Oh, yeah.
and like a lot of body parts that I don't recognize either.
What do you mean?
Well, yeah, so you got that circle-shaped one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it looks like you've done a little animation in it to have sort of a black gooey runoff coming from it.
Yeah.
What is that?
Well, I call that the dark zone.
And okay, so
It kind of just like oozes, darkness, I guess.
so in the human body, I don't believe that we have that.
So you don't want to... It's your turn. Is that what you're wanting to draft?
No.
Okay.
Once again, it seems like can I draft the heart? That's the next most essential organ. Okay.
Absolutely. And heart, that's a good choice. Not gonna lie, I was kind of eyeing it.
Okay. I still don't know that
So
any
that's
of it
gonna
will be
45 points.
Okay.
So we're gonna do the heart.
Okay. It looks almost like the Matrix now with all the numbers going.
Yeah. Well, that's the algorithm.
Yeah. And you program that?
Yeah.
That's you've been working on.
Yeah, for years.
Okay.
All right. Now it's my turn. Okay. I am going to draft the hair.
Okay.
Hair's a different body part than the head.
I guess I agree. It's sort of dead cells is what the hair is.
And that's worth 65,000 points.
Well, you know what? We should just move on to our guest at this point.
You've only drafted 2. I've drafted 3.
Yeah,
You're just
I don't.
We're gonna let our teams be this uneven.
I don't really see this going anywhere. We can continue this later.
Go ahead. Let's draft here.
Okay.
Just one more, and then we'll.
Okay. The lungs.
Okay. Good choice. That is a great choice. It is only worth 45 points.
Compared to you said the other one was 65,000.
Well, yeah. That's the hair. Everyone loves hair.
So this is based more on likability.
No, it's based on the point system, like the points they're worth. Let me fire up the machine, and we can play our game.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Let me just put this into the machine here. Calculate our choices and our numbers.
Is this? Okay. Well, now you're just okay. Is that how you use your computer? Because you were just rubbing it towards the end of that. Okay.
All right, and you're dead. Your guy died.
Yeah. Did yours live?
Oh yeah, he's the king of the game now. But unfortunately, your fantasy guy passed away.
Yeah. No head, I think, was a big issue.
I mean, mine didn't have a heart, and my guy is the CEO of the game now.
Yeah. I don't quite understand. Anyway, thank you, Cameron, for that fun game. And we'll go ahead and move on from there.
All right.
Cameron, did you say you have a guest for us today?
Yes, Dr. London, Mr. Dr. London, sir, we do have a guest. It's actually someone really near and dear to my heart.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to say hi, Mr. Soapy? Yeah, what's
Oh.
up? Hey, Dr. London.
Okay, so Cameron, it sounds
Wow,
like...
it's my best friend. Dr. London, sir, this is my best friend, Soapy.
Oh, wow. Okay, so he's got like a few hairs on him and
Yeah.
a dirt clod.
Yeah.
Okay, is this that art project that you've been obsessing about for the last few months?
Yeah.
Because you kept blowing me off, like whenever I was saying like we need to get this recorded in order to be out in time. You kept blowing me off and saying that you had the greatest artistic undertaking of your career.
Yeah, it's like Da Vinci. I'm Da Vinci.
And sometimes when I called someone and they said they were an assistant, they would,
Oh, you're talking about when I answered, Dr. London?
and they said that you were busy. And, okay, and even, well, this just sounds so extensive because I visited your house during that time, and parts of it were burned down, like it was this, and there were people moving these big crates around, and I wasn't allowed to enter. Was that all for Mr. Soapy?
Yeah, it was, Dr. London. Wasn't going to let you over because you treat Cameron like a little kid. Yeah, he does. He treats me like a little kid. Dr. London,
Okay.
sir. Dr. London.
Yes.
You haven't said hi to Mr. Soapy.
Hello, Mr. Soapy. So, Mr. Soapy, for our listeners, does appear to be a bar of soap.
Yeah, that's right. What of it?
And like,
Oh, you don't think I'm as important as a person just because I clean people?
well, I don't think that you are a person, Mr. Soapy.
Oh, I get it. You don't like soap, huh? You're a dirty
No,
little
I like-
doctor.
I do like soap.
Dr.
but
London, do you not take a bath? My mom makes me take a bath.
Wait, Cameron, does your mom
Yeah.
have to call you up and tell you to take a bath?
Yeah, every single night. Otherwise, I won't do it. I don't want to do it. I hate taking my bath.
When your phone service cut out for
I've got
a
little
week,
toys and action figures in there, which makes it a little more tolerable, but I just hate taking my bath. I just want to stay up all night.
Well, you do that as well.
Yeah, working on my art projects.
Is there more, or is this the art projects, Mr. Soapy?
Well, I mean, there's different facets to Mr. Soapy,
Okay, like,
such as he's got eyes.
yeah, no, I see that. I mean, it looks like a little dirt clod
Yeah.
for one, and then,
So I would consider that like a separate art project because those were 2 different weeks.
and it looks like, yeah, there's a long hair, like, attached to it a little bit.
Yeah, that's its facial hair.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my beard. Yeah, not the kind of beard you're thinking about.
So, I guess whenever you said that we had this guest today, you had talked about him very specifically.
Well, yeah, I
You were
mean,
saying this-
I already told you, Dr. London, sir. He's someone kind of near and dear to my heart.
So you said that it was someone from Vanderbilt. You said that he was a nephrologist, right?
Yeah.
So a kidney doctor.
Just like my older brother who passed away.
I'm sorry. Cameron,
Hmm?
Did your brother pass away from a kidney problem?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. How did that happen?
Dealing with kidney problems, eh? I'll give you a kidney problem. Kidney stones. I like to get kidney stones, too.
Are you threatening Cameron with kidney stones, Mr. Soapy?
Yeah, Dr. London, he does that all the time. And he threatens to get me kidney stoned. And he gives me edibles.
He gives you edibles?
Yeah.
Okay, to get stoned. I'm sorry.
To get kidney stoned.
How is it kidney stoned as opposed to... I'm sorry,
I mean,
for
I
our
think
listeners,
it's just more of a wordplay thing, right?
Okay.
Because he threatens to give me like physical kidney stones, and then he follows that up by wanting to get me kidney stoned. Yeah, that's right. Sorry. Whoops. Whoopsie daisy.
For our listeners, stoned is a term for whenever someone
gets
high
loaded.
from, usually in reference to marijuana or cannabis.
Getting spliffed off. I don't really think that's like a phrase people use to refer to getting high, but okay, Mr. Soapy. Yeah, it's a phrase now.
Smoke weed every day.
Okay, well, I mean, if we don't have the nephrology, I guess hopefully there was a scheduling delay and this wasn't just all an elaborate art project. So, Mr. Soapy, could you tell me about yourself?
Yeah. Well, like I said, I like when people are a little dirty.
Okay, you like it when they're dirty.
Yeah, because then...
Even though your purpose is to clean.
Yeah, but I know that if they're a little dirty, guess what they're going to do with me? You know what I'm talking about?
They're going to...
Like wash their face and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then I give them little kisses.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay, I guess that's a weird way to think about soap. What about what are your thoughts towards soft soap, the liquid soap?
I hate it. It's disgusting.
Why?
That's like our piss, man.
Okay.
What do you think they just they just made that? No, they just take a bar of soap and they just like let us do our thing, you
squeeze
know?
it. Oh. Well, okay, so you're saying that there are other soap creatures around, and that the way that they make the liquid soap is by having the solid bar of soap urinate?
Yeah. So we've got, Mr. Soapy, and he's sort of named after my older brother who's not with us anymore. And then we've got Mrs. Nail Clippers, and she's named after my aunt, my favorite aunt, and she's not with us anymore. And then we've got Mr. Drain, and he's named after my cousin's co-worker's daughter.
I'm sorry, is Mr. Drain, is he the drain of a sink?
Yeah. He's my favorite drain. He's nice to me. The other ones aren't super nice. Hey, what are you talking about, kid? I gave you some of that free stuff. Some of that stuff for free. You should be appreciative. People kill for this kind of stuff.
Are you talking about the edibles?
Yeah. Sorry that I'm just trying to get this kid a little kidney stoned, am I right?
Yeah, and once again, so, well, for one thing, why would you be trying to get a little kid stoned? What? I don't see the gain there. I know you like to give kisses, but...
Because I like kids who are a little dirty.
Oh, right, and that goes... Okay.
And yeah, whenever whenever he takes edibles, he makes a complete mess. Because he cannot handle his stuff well at all. So, if he gets high, he's gonna, get just, food all over him and stuff.
I guess that's... Yeah, no, that is interesting and kind of odd. So, Mr. Soapy, what are your aspirations? I guess...
You want to hear about my aspirations?
Yeah.
I want to clean the Queen of England.
Okay. Do you have any plans in place to make that happen?
I've got a couple ideas. I've been working with Cameron. Yeah.
Okay, Cameron, do you have some connections to the Queen of England?
Well, no, but I'm trying to like kind of create some connections. I started befriending the executive producer of Suits, and he knows Meghan Markle, and so I figured that's kind of like a way in. But then
you're in
Mr.
contact with him.
Yeah, Mr. Soapy's
Okay.
been telling me that maybe I should just send him in a box to Buckingham Palace. And it says, maybe like only the Queen should open this. And you're going to regret this if you don't.
It sounds like they might consider that to be a bomb threat.
No, it's Soap. It's Mr. Soapy. He's not a bomb. Yeah, I'm not a bomb.
Well, for one thing, and this is possibly just an odd connection, but you can make bombs out of soap. I'm not sure where you were aware of that, Cameron.
I don't think so, Dr. London. Bombs are for cleaning things up, not for making things messier. Yeah, that's right.
Well, you just said bombs are for cleaning things up.
Yeah.
I guess I'm a little bit confused. So did you mean to say soap? Because we were talking about soap originally, and now you're saying that bombs are for cleaning.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you planning to, when you say clean, do you mean to blow up the Queen of England?
Well, I don't know the difference. I'm just a little kid.
Okay. No, the difference is huge because cleaning means like getting the dirt off of a person.
Yeah, that's right.
know?
And that's why I want to clean the Queen of England.
But you still leave the person intact whenever you clean them with soap.
Oh, well, then
Well,
you're not
talking
cleaning
about-
thoroughly enough.
So Mr. Soapy, this is just concerning to me because it sounds like you might possibly be advocating for a terrorist act, which on this podcast, we do not support that.
Maybe I'm just advocating to make this world a cleaner place.
By killing people.
What? I didn't say anything like that. Yeah, Dr. London, it sounds like you're just kind of making stuff up. We're not doing anything like that. Yeah, we're not doing anything like that.
If you blow someone up, that does kill them. I'm not sure if you understand that.
That's not what Mr. Soapy says. He says it helps them get clean.
In a sense, that could be true because some part of them will be gone entirely.
Yeah, it cleanses the soul. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, I would say it frees the soul from the body.
Yeah.
But that's not cleaning. That's killing still.
Sounds like cleaning to me.
Okay, Cameron, can I talk to you for a moment?
Okay. Dr. London, sir, sure.
Okay,
Mr.
just side
Dr. London, Mr. Sir? Mr. Dr. London, sir?
Yeah. So it sounds like your art project is potentially an attempt at terrorism.
I don't think so,
Do you
Dr.
see how
London.
that's-
He's just a bar of soap. Just a bar of soap
Yeah,
that
well,
I made.
And that's fun and cute, but if its aspirations are to carry out a bombing, then that's not safe.
No, it's a cleansing, Dr. London.
Maybe you should play more with Mr. Drain or nail clippers.
Oh, ant nail clippers.
Yeah, ant nail clippers.
Going to get
maybe
Mr.
they're
Drain?
a little bit. Yeah, Mr. Drain and ant nail clippers. Maybe those are healthier friends.
It's Mr. Drain here.
Okay. I
Hey,
didn't
what's
mean
going
to bring.
on?
I didn't mean to bring Mr. Drain to the
Oh,
conversation.
I'm part of the conversation now. You can't stop me at this point.
Okay. Well, hello, Mr.
Hey,
Drain.
what's up,
What
Dr.
I'm-
London?
What I'm saying here is that.
Yeah?
Well, it's good to talk to you instead, Mr. Drain. Okay, so Mr. Drain.
Yeah?
What are your aspirations? We asked Mr.
Oh
Soapy.
yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I definitely want to like kind of just like, flush all the bad parts of the world down me. You know what I'm talking about? Just flush it down the drain.
Okay. Yeah. Anything bad in the world.
Yeah, just all
so
the
like,
bad, nasty parts of the world.
All the dirt and grime.
Yeah, just kind of make this place a
Sure.
little cleaner.
Yeah, when you do dishes and stuff,
Yeah.
let all that stuff go down, and then you take care of the bad parts.
Yeah,
Okay.
my goal is really just like a lot of to make this place a cleaner place. That's why Mr. Soapy's been making a lot of sense to me lately.
Oh well, so Mr. Soapy seems to make some points that are actually
No, just we
terrorist
share
in
we
nature.
share a common goal here, which is to make the world just a cleaner place.
Okay. So
So
if
he
you were
takes
to
care of
say
cleaning
your-
them, and then we're going to flush them down.
okay,
All the dirty
so are
parts.
you
Like the Queen of England.
okay? So you also want to go after the Queen of England?
Oh yeah, someone's got to.
Well, okay. Well, why? Why does anyone have to go after the Queen of England?
Why her crown is so expensive?
Oh, is that Mr. Soapy's motivation as well?
Well, I don't know. You should probably ask him. Yeah, that's my motivation.
Okay.
All right, the crown. I don't know. It just makes a lot of sense to me. And so we're just gonna clean the Queen of England and then just shove her down the drain, and that'll take care of, I think, most of the world's problems.
You think that will solve the problems? Because one of the big
Yeah,
problems in the world.
I mean, Cameron, don't you agree? Mr. London, I do agree. I think that kind of makes the most sense. It makes a lot more sense than what things you've been saying. And maybe it's just that I trust what Mr. Drain and Mr. Soapy say to me, because they treat me like a real person and they don't talk to me like a little kid, like a condescending jackass.
Okay, and I am sorry that my manner of speaking sort of comes across that way.
Yeah.
I know sort of speaking more politely can sometimes sound condescending.
I wouldn't listen to him, Cameron. This doctor doesn't seem trustworthy. I think you just need to keep listening to me and Mr. Soapy.
Okay, Cameron, I don't want to say that my
I
opinion
would
matters.
say I would recommend maybe just like plugging your ears a little bit, Cameron, and just kind of like, just let me and Mr. Soapy talk to you, because we can talk to you even if you got your ears plugged. We got that kind of connection, which is special.
Okay, and that sounds quite a bit like schizophrenia.
What?
Yeah. So, Cameron, did these
Dr. London, sir?
did
did you
Mr.
talk- did you-
Soapy?
Did you say my name, Mr. Sir?
Yes,
Hey,
Cameron.
Dr. London.
So, yes. Yeah. So when these friends you have, these art projects, when they started to talk, did they start to talk before you made them?
Well, what do
and
you
then,
mean?
Like they told you to make them, and how?
Well, yeah, they've always been around.
And you just recently gave them forms, physical forms?
Yeah, they said they needed some sort of body to manifest.
Oh, to manifest.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
Dr. London.
I
Mr. Dr. London,
this
sir,
just-
yeah.
This doesn't sound very good to me. I feel like we need to
I wouldn't listen to him, Cameron. It sounds like he's trying to take away our bodies. Yeah, I wouldn't listen to him, Cameron.
and I'm not trying.
We gotta have our body.
like,
How are we gonna clean stuff without our bodies? Yeah, I gotta agree with Mr. Soapy here. We can take a vote on this. All right, all in favor of cleansing the Queen, raise your hand. All right, I see Mr. Soapy's raising his hand. I'm raising my hand. Cameron, yeah, I'm raising my hand as well. Dr. London, sir, are you gonna raise your hand?
Okay.
Well, Dr.
Okay.
London, I think that's 3-1.
Okay, well, maybe that's a good place to kind of call it, because all this talk about, I thought that we were going to have a nephrologist today, and then all of your art projects seem to be terrorists who, want to blow up the Queen.
Oh, I'm
as a method
sorry.
of
It
cleansing.
was Mother Teresa a terrorist? Because she was just trying to make the world a better place, and that's all I'm trying to do.
Well, so Mother Teresa wasn't interested in bombing people. That was not part of her agenda.
Oh, you know her personally?
No, just her stated agendas were never no mention of bomb threats.
Oh, well, I knew her,
Or-
and I think that is exactly what she was going for, so.
you, Mr. Drain, you knew her?
Oh, yeah. I
How
was
did
pretty
you know
involved
her?
in the Catholic Church.
As a Drain?
Yeah.
Okay. It just seems a little bit odd, especially because she traveled so much, and that doesn't seem to be really the sort of the life of a Drain.
Well, yeah, I
Like,
mean, I
usually-
didn't travel, but, I was in, like, one of her apartments.
Okay. So
And
you
that's
did
where I
travel
decided I
some,
need
though, in your
to
life,
clean the Queen of England. Yeah, that's right.
thanks to Mother Teresa's
Apartment.
sayings.
And that's when we decided we gotta clean the Queen of England. Mr. Soapy making a lot of sense again. Yeah, Dr. London, this makes so much more sense to me than all the stuff you tell me that I know is not true.
Well, okay, well, we'll go ahead and call it for now. I don't think we need to give this a platform anymore.
Okay.
But
I guess it's your call, Dr. London. It's your show. And since I'm just a little kid, I don't have the maturity or the intelligence to be able to make decisions like that. Very important decisions like when a segment should be over.
and just to clarify once again, I wasn't trying to put you down before.
Okay.
I just, sometimes one opinion is more informed than the other on a given topic. But once again, you are better at, relating to people, knowing the latest trends. That's why I rely on you.
Dr. London, sir, yeah, I am. Thanks, Dr. London.
Yeah. So
You've given me the
anyway,
courage to maybe turn back.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, in any case, thank you, Cameron, for being on the podcast today.
Can I just
thank
here,
you
let me,
to
do you have a Roku around here? Dr. London, sir, I've
yeah.
got an Alexa and a Google Assistant.
Oh, you're gonna transform
Yeah,
back.
you just plug it in the opposite way.
Okay. Can you go ahead and do that?
Okay. Whoa.
Hey, Cameron.
Hey, what's up?
Did you
my
just go
voice
through
always
the
this
machine
deep? Is
then?
this normal? What's going on?
Okay.
Okay.
It's pretty normal. Okay. Well, anyway, so thank you, Cameron,
yeah.
for being on the show, for helping us out. Thank you to, I guess, Mr. Soapy, Mr. Drain.
Who?
What was it? Ant nail clippers. Were you not aware of what just happened for this episode?
I think I was on my phone.
Okay. Well, that's all right. We can skip right over that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you to everyone. Thank you to Digital in the House.
Yo.
Okay. You like it when they're dirty. This has been the Jock Doc Podcast.
See ya.
Before you go, let's take a minute. Breathe in, breathe out, close your eyes. Okay, now open them real quick because you are driving. Okay, wow, sorry about that. I'm not sorry in the sense of assuming any guilt for your driving, but more in the sense of feeling bad about how you still haven't told any of your friends about the Jock Doc podcast.
How dare you?
Now look, I get it. You don't want to let your friends know just how hard you nerd out on science and medicine. But hey, maybe they're secretly nerds too, okay? So try sending them your favorite episode of the podcast.
Maybe
even-
this one.
Oh, yeah, a good point. Or maybe even one of those minute snippets we post every week on social media. Or just send them to our handy website, jocktalkpodcast.com. And while you're at it, go ahead and give us a 5-star review on your preferred podcasting app.
Hit that like, hit that share, hit that 5 stars. Oh, what is this? 1 star? No. 2 star? No.
Good
3
try.
star?
Getting better, but not. No, we're not there.
4 star?
No.
Nope.
We don't read those.
5.
And I wish we did, but like we
Stars.
just I can't. So, but you can leave a review about anything. You don't have to put anything about the podcast. You can just talk about your breathing habits and how we are not held liable for your car accidents.
Nope.
All right. Well, thank you for listening.